So the almighty king of curses, Sukuna, was just added to ABA, and it begs the question, is he actually good or is he a fraud? I mean, we're gonna find out by the end of this video, so let's get into it. When this wheel spins, it lets you use Maharaga, Agito, and it changes your fourth move. Now you might be asking, how exactly do you make this wheel turn? Well, you can't actually command it to turn, but it will either turn after you do 100 damage or if you wait 60 seconds. But let's move on to the rest of his kit. Now, Shrine is Sukuna's first move. It's a blockable combo finisher, but here's the thing. The move is very versatile, and it happens to have two forms. The normal version and the air version. Now, they're both good, but the first one does more damage as well as being a grab move. However, it has more wind up and end lag. But look, that's just the beginning of Sukuna's kit. Just imagine how brain dead the other moves might be. Onslaught is Sukuna's first guard break that does nice damage and has a decent cooldown. But Onslaught also happens to have a second version. Unfortunately, the second version can actually hit Sukuna himself. Now, this little move can work as a combo extender or even an ender, but you have to be mindful, because it becomes blockable if you use the elephant version. But speaking of elephant, we gotta talk about the other 10 shadows in Megumi's technique. Now, Shadow Manipulation is Sukuna's second guard break. On top of that, it also has infinite range, and it also does pretty good damage. But look, it could also work as a goddamn combo extender. And by the way, it can throw off your opponent's timing if you time it just like this. However, if the wolves are still present, you can't use the move until they're gone. But for your guard break, if you really think about it, just pressing the move one time won't actually work. Instead, the way you actually use your guard break is by pressing 3 after the wolf's animation is done. But if you use your wolves from afar, you can just run up and use the guard break. Anyways, let's get on to the fourth move. Now, Furu's Blessing is a move that has multiple variants, and it works with a new gimmick that's only for Sukuna, which of course is the wheel spin. But look, the first variant is this one that comes out of the ground, and the next is this little down slam one that is only usable after one spin. Oh wait, I almost forgot, and it also has this form right here, which you can also combo extend with. But then we have the final variant, which allows you to summon the Divine General himself, Maharaga. But you see, Maharaga has the ability to block attacks for you. Now, Maharaga's thing is adaptability, but he's not invincible. He can unfortunately die, but the ABA devs decided to add a very generous move, a fire extinguisher. Now, if your Maharaga is dead, you get to use the fire extinguisher to try to blind your opponents. And on top of that, it also goddamn guard breaks. Now let's move on to the awake. Wait a second, you didn't think I forgot about the world cutting slash. Now, the world cutting slash is triggered by having 4 spins and using 4. But I also can't forget Sukuna's hidden summon, Agito. Now you see, Agito works as his motherly figure, healing him and protecting him with her lightning. But here's the thing, you can't actually heal if you're not in her little healing zone. Now, for Sukuna's base kit, I give him a 44.5 out of 50. Now, he has a lot of different moves that you can use, and he has a lot of great combinations. He's overall a very well-rounded character, and I think that he might have one of the highest base ratings that I give so far. Now wait a second, before we get to Sukuna's Awakened moveset, let's analyze his passives. Now his first passive is Black Flash. It does great damage and heals you, but the way you actually proc Black Flash is by doing 320 damage or using Shrine. Next is the little slash animation, and the way you activate it is by literally just using any move that sends out slashes. But then there's the limb removal. Now basically what this does is it takes away either the left leg or right arm. Now when it takes off your leg, it's not that bad as you slightly become slower. But when it takes off your arm, you can't M1 until it comes back. Now, Shrine becomes way better in Awakening. I mean, it's almost the best move in his Awakening. Now, you see, Shrine has 3 versions. The first one is this little, one that's kind of similar to the base. Then we have the second version, which is the air version. Then there's the third, which down slams if your opponent is in the air. Oh yeah, and this move happens to guard break. But can Sukuna axe kick like Armin Sarukian? Speaking of axe kick, we have the second move. Now, axe kick is a pretty good long range move that can either be used freely or can be used to extend. Then there's Ravager that can cut your opponents into little pieces. Now you see, Ravager also happens to have 2 variants, and these variants are the grab move and the long range slash, and they both work pretty good. But after all that, Sukuna's last move is Divine Blessing. Now you see, Divine Blessing is okay, but it's basically just Agito's lightning. Now, wall cutting slash isn't its own move in Awakening, but instead it requires 1, 2, and 3 to be used in unison. Now, wall cutting slash does one shot in Awakening, but you see, there's a strategic method for activation. Now, this method requires you to land wall cutting slash in your base kit, meaning that you have to wait for 4 spins and stay alive long enough to not be dog water. Now, Fuga is the move that Jogo and made him cry, but the way you activate this move is by using Black Flash with M1s, and yes, for some reason it does a one-shot, but I mean you already have one anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But hey, I guess that pretty much ends today's video, and I guess I'll see you guys in
Domain expansion. Malevolent Kitchen.
Malevolent Kitchen, I mean Malevolent Shrine, is Sukuna's domain. Now basically what this does is it allows you to use your ultimate attack, but the condition for activation is simple: land M1 Black Flash. Now after landing Black Flash, you realize that you have no idea how to use your shrine, but then you fat finger the G key accidentally and you send your opponent to the gulag. Now for Sukuna's Awakened rating, I give him a 48 out of 50. His Awakening is good, but his gimmick moves are what make him really brain dead. He's just very good overall. But anyways, let's get to the conclusion of our overall video and of course come to our overall rating. Sukuna's overall rating, he gets a 91.5 out of 100. Now you might be asking, why was Denji's rating higher than Sukuna's when he's not better than him? Well, that's because Denji has 3 modes. If Sukuna had 3 modes, he would get a higher rating, but Sukuna's is out of 100, not 150. Meaning that any characters that have 3 modes will always have a rating out of 150 for those 3 modes. But hey, that ends today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Go like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh yeah, and also, by the way, watch this goddamn video. Goodbye.